Next game up, we have Dem Getters versus YMM. Dem Getters are coming in 4-2. YMM is coming in 2-4. We've seen YMM not play on the level that we expected them to. We're going to go to Dawn first and see who's here, who's not here first.
For Dem Getters, Walk, Megatron, and Shannon will be all absent from this game. Lowe's will start as quarterback. For YMN, Primo, the team's main blocker, will not be present, but everyone else is here. Back to you, Jay.
Wow. Dem Getters are missing Megatron. Dem Getters are missing their starting quarterback, Watt, and the Getters are missing Shannon. Those are some big pieces to be missing. You know, big star players to be missing to want to be the YMM team.
And the main two that I could say hurts the most is not having Watt, your main quarterback, and not having Megatron the last couple of games. Kind of hurt. And it reflects on their record. They lost a couple of games because they didn't have Megatron back there. So I feel like you can't afford to have these guys not play. They have to be here because it reflects on the standings. It reflects on how they play. It's a difference maker. And this is another game where it may hurt them.
And YMM is Primo. Primo's one of the best blockers in the league, especially this year in the East. The guy blocks. I mean, it's a shame that it's not a reflection on what Nelson's doing this year, but Nelson has played well last game. He played a lot better. But this dude, Primo, is a great blocker, and I would love him protecting me in any type of ball fight. The dude gets busy.
And that's something that's the best insurance that you can give a quarterback, that you're going to protect him. That he doesn't have to worry about the blitz. He doesn't have to worry about anybody surprising him. He's only able to concentrate and make the throws he's able to make because you have somebody backing you up. And that's the best thing you can give a quarterback. That's the best thing to have when you're trying to move your offense forward. So Primo is a big addition, a big add-on to their team playing well this year.
That being said, we're going to just jump into the game. Because Walker's not here, you're going to see Los get the start. And I don't agree with this. I think Swiss should have started. Swiss can quarterback. He's thrown for the U, but we're going to see what happens after the game. Getters going to start with a turnover, giving this YMM. Nelson's going to throw a screen pass to Jeremy, who's going to run for a nice game. Then Nelson's going to throw a pass behind Josh. It's going to be incomplete. They're going to turn the ball over, giving it to them Getters. Los is going to throw to Henry, who's going to make a nice catch. But then Los is going to throw, and Rico's going to get an interception, giving the ball back to YMM. Rico has moved from the safety position to the linebacker position, and has taken off, hit the ground running. He's playing excellent. He's playing corner/linebacker, playing excellent this year.
And he's able to pretty much, at linebacker, he is pretty much the center of the defense now. So he's able to roam to any part of the field that he wants. He's actually playing a safety in a linebacker position because he's able to roam, he's able to pick up guys coming across the middle. I feel like that's a very important position, and Rico is playing very well. He has a lot of success with that move. I think that was a great idea.
And let's look at the people that he's playing that position that plays well. Danny from Carver, he plays that position. Hollywood from Getters, he plays that position. Pig from Riot, last year in house game, he played that position. And these guys stepped up. So these are potential guys who played safety, who's moved up to play linebacker and has played great. And now we see Rico stepping up and doing the same thing. Nelson's going to get the ball back because of Rico's pick. He's going to throw to Jeremy in the middle. Jeremy's going to fall, but still able to make the nice catch for the first down. That's going to be a top 5 nominee. Was it a catch? Obviously, it was a top 5 nominee, so I hope it is a catch. But what do you see? We called it a catch. What do you think?
It looked like he got his arms under the ball. I feel like he was able to, even though he was on the ground, he was still able to brace the ball, keep it from hitting the ground. I think that was just great concentration great concentration by Jeremy to still be able to follow the ball and make a play on it, even though you have no bearings, you're off balance, you're on the ground already, and you're still able to come up with the catch. Great catch by Jeremy.
Nelson's going to throw a nice pass to Bones for a nice game and the first down. Then Nelson's going to throw to Mike in the end zone. It's going to be tipped and caught by Mike still for the touchdown. Rico with the extra point, 7-0. This is what Nelson needs to do. Take his time. He does that. They slow the offense down for him, and it's working. Touchdown.
And I feel the key is confidence and comfort. I feel like Nelson is starting to get comfortable, making his own decisions, starting to notice what works and what doesn't. He's chopping up the field. He's keeping it easy, not taking any unnecessary risks, and he's putting points on the board.
Los is going to get the ball back for this Them Getters offense. He's going to throw a nice pass to Henry in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown, putting them back into the game 7-6. I said I think they should have had Swiss throwing, but Los is going to follow up, find Henry in the corner for the touchdown, 7-6. Nelson's going to throw the balls on the sideline for a nice game. Doug Nelson's going to come back 2 Bones for the touchdown. Bones is going to get the 2-point conversion, and that's going to be a top 5 nominee by Bones with this catch. Bones is a beast. He gets the ball. He throw the ball anyway. You see this who's going up. He's a Calvin Johnson of the UFL making these types of catches.
And like I said about Megatron in the past, and you see it here with Bones as well. Once he's jumping for the ball, there's almost no chance anybody else is coming down with that ball. Bones had that ball from beginning to end. There was no chance of nothing else happening. Great catch by Bones. Definitely a top 5 play.
Los is going to throw the ball deep to Rubio, and we're going to see Jeremy do what he does. Great breakup play by Jeremy. Here playing great defense. Then Los is going to throw again to Rubio in the end zone, and Jeremy's going to make contact to force an incomplete pass. 7-6. YMM going into the halftime. Great hit by Jeremy, forcing the incomplete. When he gets physical, immediately physical, this kid can be real dangerous.
And this is why Jeremy is pretty much one of my favorite players on this team. He can change a game by himself. He's a great defender. He's very physical. When he keeps it clean, he's very physical, and he can change the whole outcome of a drive just by one play alone. He does it there.
Second half, YMM is going to get the ball. Nelson's going to have a nice pass to Jeremy in the middle. Then he's going to follow that up with a pass to Matrix near the 10-yard line. Finally see Matrix getting involved in the offense. He's getting used to this YMM team, so he's playing his role, making a great play here. Nelson's going to end up with a great pass to Bones in the end zone for the touchdown, 13-6. Bones' second touchdown of the day. Like I said, they slowed it down for him. Great play by Bones. Great throw by Nelson. This is what Nelson can do if he just takes his time. Nelson's going to get the ball back and throw a deep pass to Rubio in the end zone for the touchdown. A 13-12, they're going to get back into the game. And Rubio, I like him. You're a Jeremy fan, I'm a Rubio fan. The dude gets behind space, gets behind the defense. A lot of times they don't see where he goes. He's a rich man's Joe. I would say Joe from General is a poor man's Rubio. They're both the same size. I think Rubio's more of a big play capable because he can get the ball in space and he can get the ball downfield. He's going to make a great catch here. Putting them back into the game 13-12.
Pretty much Rubio, since they've been playing the last 2 seasons, he's been their number 3. When you talk about Megatron, you talk about Hollywood, you also have to talk about Rubio. He's a big playmaker on both sides of the field. He's one person that gets open no matter what defenders on him. And he's also a shorter guy, so it's hard to stay with him as well. And he's very fast. So he's able to make plays like this often.
Nelson's going to throw to a wide open Matrix on the sideline. Matrix once again getting involved in this offense. Nelson's going to get blitzed and sacked by Hate Me. And it seems like now he's getting a little rattled because he's going to throw it up into the end zone. It's going to be intercepted by Rubio. And these are the mistakes that we see Nelson make. It's not time to kill him, but this is a bad pass. Can't make this pass, give him the ball back. Take the sack, take a smart sack, doesn't do it here.
And it feels like after that one sack that he got caught, it's a quarterback reaction sometimes to not get caught by the defender that's rushing you and you got to get rid of it. He has to get out of that reflex and actually say, you know what, let me take this sack because it doesn't really hurt me that much. Once he gets that down pat, that's when Nelson is going to finally start to skyrocket. I feel like there's little things that he needs to fix. This is one of them here.
Los is going to get the ball back, and he's going to throw an interception to Brown, giving the ball right back to the YMM. Los makes a back pass. Didn't look that great all day. Threw a few interceptions. I think Swiss should have started. Bad pass by Los, giving the ball back to YMM. Nelson's going to follow up with a nice pass to Rico in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown, putting YMM up 19-12. Great job by Nelson. Doesn't let that interception he threw earlier kill him. He comes back, scores a touchdown, puts them in that bigger lead. Quick play by Nelson, having a short-term memory.
And that was just also, that's reassurance by his team. Saying that even though he threw an interception, they weren't going to kill him and that's an improvement on their team as well. They rally behind him and they say, you know what, we're going to get it back for you. They do. Brown with a great interception, getting the ball back for Nelson, he's able to put points on the board. That's how a team plays. Your quarterback makes a mistake, fine, we play for you, and Nelson's able to recover and fix it in the next drive.
Los is going to get the ball back. Remember, they're down 7. But he's going to end up throwing the interception to Jeremy, ending the game, giving YMM the win, 19-12. YMM moves up to 3-4. Geddes moves up to 4-3. Great game by YMM to take this win.
And this is all Nelson. Nelson deserves a game ball in this game. He actually looked great out there. After, besides that one interception that he threw, that was the one mistake that he needs to buckle up on. That's something that defense is going to use against him now. He doesn't like to get sacked. So hopefully once he fixes that, then Nelson will be that much better a quarterback because he had a great game today and he needs to keep up this type of play.
And I got to take my hats off to the kid. The kid looks like something for the future. He made that one interception, but other than that, he threw 3 touchdown passes. He looked good. And so he did it without Primo blocking.
Yes.
Usually that's his protection. So what happens when Primo comes back and he's blocking? I got to give the kid some props. He looked good today. YMM looked like a team that I wouldn't want to face in the playoffs. And then you move over to them Geddes. Yes, they didn't have Hollywood. Yes, they didn't have Megatron. Yes, Hollywood is still playing hurt. Yes, they didn't have Watt. Yes, they didn't have Shannon. But you had Swiss. You had Hollywood. Still playing, you had Rubio. You should have won this game. Los should not have thrown. Swiss should have thrown. And they would have, I think they would have won if Swiss was throwing for this team.
And I feel like that's the difference maker because Swiss, it's not like, okay, Swiss couldn't throw because he's a playmaker on offense. Swiss didn't really do much on offense as well because Los couldn't get him the ball. So I feel like it was more effective for Swiss to throw and Los to be a tight end. I feel like that would have been that much more effective because Los is a decent tight end for them. He makes plays when it matters. And Swiss is a more polished quarterback. So I feel like that switch would have benefited them that much better, and that probably would have been the difference maker for this game.
And I know Hollywood said they had a lot of injuries, but hey, football is about injuries. You're 4-3 now. You don't look like the team that you looked last year. You look like, you lost to Raw. You lost to Wyman. You don't look like you lost to Carver. You don't look like a team that was built to beat Carver. Yes, you broke Shannon and Swiss in order to beat Carver, but you lost to Wyman. You put too much pressure on yourselves, and now Megatron is down. If Megatron does not play in the playoffs, this team may lose in the first round.
Not only Carver, they have no chance against the Violators if they play this year.
Exactly.
Because that's another team that stepped up and is looking that much better this year. They beat the Violators in the playoffs last year. I don't think that's happening this year if they keep playing like this. Hurt or not, you're supposed to play your games and play the way you know you can, and they don't here, and they get another loss.
And I have to put some blame on Hollywood. It's his job to get this team in position to win, and they're not winning. And then when they do win, they don't look dominant. They wasn't able to score against Carver. This game, they only scored 2 touchdowns. They should have put up more points. He has to do some homework. He has to sit down, study some tape, figure out what's wrong with this team. They got to get Swiss more involved in the offense. He got to get the ball, similar to what the U does for him. You're not using this guy the way he is. Some days you do, some days you don't. He's here when you need him. He's been playing the games. They haven't gotten the ball. They haven't got Shannon the ball like we expect them to. They got to turn it around, and I said it all comes down to quarterback play. And they put so much pressure in getting these receivers. They still have the same quarterback, Watt, who I don't think is ready to take the next step to the next level. So what happens in the playoffs? Do you go with him or do we go with Swiss? I'll go with Swiss because Swiss has experience.
But at the end of the day, it's all about how they use Swiss. Is he going to be more effective as a receiver or as a quarterback? My point is, so then pretty much if you're going to use Swiss, then you have no need for Watt. Watt is just there. So my point, are you going to completely replace him?
Sources tell me, and this is only sources, we're going to try to get a comment from them Geddes, not saying that this was accurate, but sources says that they were looking for Reggie to throw for them in Friday Night Lights. Well, if Watt is your quarterback, why do you need Reggie to teach him? That means he's not ready. So this is the guy that's going to win the championship for you in the UFL that's not ready. Like I said, we're not going to attach that to any name because Hollywood has not told us that. But what sources told us was they were looking into getting ready for next season. That means Wack is not ready. What happens this season then? We'll have to see what happens. I think the team is in trouble. Hollywood doesn't think so. I think they are, because you don't want to fall out of the top 4. Because if you fall within 7, 8, you don't want to be 8 or 7, because you're going to end up playing Violators or Carver. You don't want to play those 2 teams. So as long as they stay within 3 or 4, 5, they're good. Once they get to 7, 8, they got to play one of those 2 teams, and I don't think nobody wants to play them. So we're going to end it there. Them Getters 4-3, 4-3. YMM 3-4. Gateway for YMM. Turn around. Great win, fellas. Next game up, we got Street Fam versus Violators. Street Fam is coming in 2-4, coming off of a big win to the Browns. And Violators are coming in 5-0. This is a great tester for Street Fam, because after you just beat Browns, now you got Violators, and I think it's a test to show the league what type of team you are if you can pull out this one.
And this is pretty much to show, was their win against the Browns a fluke? Was it a one-time thing? Or can they keep it going? Can they beat 2 big teams in a row? This is probably the ultimate test for any team, to see if they are the truth or they are, contender or pretender. This is something that we talked about last week, and this is a test for them. This is a definite test to see if they are a contender or pretender. There's no better game than this.
Well, we're going to jump right into the game and see what happens. We're going to go with Dawn and see who's here and who's not here.
None of the Violators will be the only player on both teams not present due to injury. Nothing else to report. Back to you, Jay.
That being said, we're going to jump into the game and see what happens. Fred is going to throw it deep to Light, and Light is going to stop Roman. It's going to almost be intercepted by Shaw. Shaw doesn't make the interception and gives Violators extra play, which Fred is going to end up doing a great deep pass to Herbie for the touchdown. Yomi's going to get the extra point, 7-0. And I think Herbie was a big pickup. This guy just got here this season. He loves the league. He's already an all-star. He's definitely impacted this team, and I think he brings toughness that they lost with Gil leaving. They lost Gil. They had no toughness last year. Now with Herbie, they got toughness. They had Herbie and Teo, 2 guys that play with FOE. They got toughness, and they definitely shown it to them.
And not only toughness, Herb is a extraordinary athlete out there. He's very fast. He goes and gets the ball. He is able to make moves that make guys miss. So these are things where you're getting all in one player. And he's also a capable defender as well. So you get a lot when you have Herbie on your team. That was a great, but not to take away from the pass from Fred. Even though he almost threw an interception, that does not slow him down. He still takes a shot deep and finds Herbie for the touchdown. That shows that Fred has full confidence and is not threatened by Street Fam at all.
Spaz is going to get the ball. He's going to go deep the same way Fred did. He's going to find Shaw, who's going to run it in for the touchdown, 7-6. I respect Spaz going right back at them, saying, you want to do it, I can do it. Goes downfield, shows his arm strength, finds Shaw for the touchdown.
I don't know what it was, but it seems like there's a spark in Spaz now. And he's playing very well. He's making throws that he didn't make the first 3 games that they played. Now he's looking like a quarterback. That's a great pass he threw, only where Shaw can get it. Shaw looking like an unstoppable force on this Street Fam team. A definite all-star. Definitely, if you show plays like this, there's no question why he's talked about like this.
Violet's going to get the ball back, and it's going to be kick return by Tails, going to run it all the way to the 10-yard line. Tails was another big pickup that they had. He's been playing well this season. Him and Herbie been definitely getting this Violet's offense in the move. Fred is going to end up finding Herbie for a touchdown. No more with the extra 2-point conversion. 15-12, Herbie's second touchdown of the day. Pushes Violet's even further lead.
Right now, they have no answer to Herbie right now. Even though they were able to put points on the board Street Fam, they have no answer to Herbie. Herbie's able to do whatever he wants. He's open again, and Fred hits him again for a touchdown. It looks like it's going to be a big game for Herbie because there's no stopping him at this point.
Spaz is going to go to Hail Mary for Street Fam, incomplete, and they're going to turn over the ball. Fred is going to get blitzed by Milo under pressure. Fred goes deep to Nomar, is going to be intercepted by Shaw, giving the ball right back to Street Fam. We just talked about Shaw. Great blitz by Milo, putting the pressure on Fred. Fred goes downfield, picked off by Shaw.
And this is the setup that Street Fam needs to do more often. The pressure from Milo and their ball giver NYK is too much. Fred tries to get rid of it, thinks that he can still make the pass, and Shaw comes up with a great interception. We've been seeing this throughout the season. Shaw on defense, making a play like that, sometimes on impulse, and to get a quarterback like Fred to throw an interception like this, you credit the defense all the way.
Street Fam is going to get the ball back after the interception. They're going to have to punt. Fred is going to get the ball back for the Violates. He's going to throw a nice pass to Herbie in the red zone. Then throw a laser pass to Yomi for the touchdown. Right through the defense. 21-6, taking this to the half. What a throw by Fred, finding his favorite tight end, Yomi, for the touchdown.
That's just, like you said, a laser. That was a throw that was untouchable. Shot looked like he tried to make a play on it. It didn't matter. It went right through that small window that Shaw gave.
He's lucky he didn't touch it. It would have knocked his hand off. What a throw by Fred.
That was an unstoppable ball. He got lucky he didn't have his hand in there because he would be playing with one arm the rest of the season.
Second half, Street Fam's going to get the ball. Spaz with a nice pass to Shaw in the end zone for the touchdown, putting them up back in the game, 21-12. Definitely great throw by Spaz. Shaw once again finding the end zone for the touchdown.
And just when you thought that the Violators are going to run away with the game, Spaz able to throw deep to Shaw again and keep the game alive for Street Fam. Spaz again, we can't talk about enough about him. He's throwing good. Shaw with a big play again. Hopefully they can keep this going and come back in this game.
Fred is going to throw a pass to number 83 in the middle. It's going to be dropped and picked off by Trey, giving the ball back to Street Fam. Street Fam chasing 9, 21-12. Great play. Bad drop by the receiver, but great play by Trey picking off the ball.
And that shows that not everybody's stepping up and making plays. They all want to win. They're trying their best. Hopefully the offense can capitalize, but the defense is playing a hard game out there making plays for them.
Street Fam is going to end up turning over the ball, giving it back to the Violators. Fred is going to throw the no ball in the end zone. It's almost going to be picked off by Izzy. Then he's going to come back and throw a pass to Tail for the touchdown. Normal is going to get the 2-point conversion, 29-12. We've seen Herbie score twice. We've seen Tail with a great return to the 10-yard line. Now we've seen Tail score. Tail, Herbie, Jomi, Normal. What an offense.
And this pretty much 4 guys that are playing high octane. They're all all-star capable players. And to have 4 on your offense running out and getting the ball, that's the best thing that you can ask for as a quarterback. Fred having impressive numbers himself, this is probably one of the best offenses we've seen all season.
Street Fam is going to end up having a punt on the next series. Herbie's going to get the ball. He's going to scramble to kill the clock. He's going to run for a nice game. And look at these moves by Herbie. Game is practically over. They're running out the clock, but look at the moves. Look how he makes these guys miss. Wow, that's dangerous. Valdez is going to end up winning the game 29-12, putting them up to 6-0, and Street Fam going to fall to 2-5. Bad loss by Street Fam. We've seen a few passes drop, but too much offense for Street Fam.
The Violators pretty much was too much for Street Fam. One thing I gotta say is, I watched Street Fam and they tried to do a hurry-up offense that they did against the Browns.
And
it didn't work on the
Violators. This team is more physical and they have a more general on the field, which is Herbie, who keeps everybody where they're supposed to be, and he's definitely played better than the Browns.
And not only that, they were prepared for the hurry-up offense. They seen the game. I'm pretty sure they seen the game against the Browns last week, so they pay attention.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys even watch the show faithfully, so they know what to expect. We talk about it, they hear it, and they respond to it. So you can't expect them to fall into the same trap as the Browns did. You can't catch another team with the same trick. What they were supposed to do, in my opinion, was the opposite. Slow down the game and keep Violators' offense off of the field. After the first drive that they showed that it didn't work and the Violators were still scoring, they were supposed to keep them off the field and slow down the game. They didn't do that, and the Violators put up 29 points on you. It was an ugly game. Not an ugly game, but it's just like the Violators pretty much ran over you.
Well, they didn't want to change it. You know the saying, the saying goes, a stubborn duck plucks something.
Give up. Give up. I don't even know where you were going with that.
Like that. At the end of the day, they were too stubborn to change the approach. They feel that they could squeeze it into the the puzzle into the piece. Didn't they say the puzzle to the piece?
the piece into the puzzle.
Puzzle into the piece into the puzzle, the square into the
Who
circle.
puts the puzzle into the piece?
They tried to split the
Ugh.
circle into the square and it didn't work. The hurry-up offense did not
Doing
work.
analogies.
And instead of them changing up the offense, they continue to go with it, and you only see 12 points. And had it not been for Shaw, this would have been a blowout.
I mean, at the end of the day, you saw towards the end of the game that it was already a game that was over. They had no chance. But my point is, they didn't play bad.
No.
They didn't play bad.
No,
it was
Shaq's too decent.
Yes, he
a lot of
had
drop
some-
passes.
yes.
But Violators are a better team.
They were too much for them. And Violators were ready to play. They didn't make any of the mistakes that Reggie made in the last game. They were prepared. Fred was looking like a more polished quarterback this season. None of that was going to work on the Violators, and it showed with the score.
That being said, we're going to have to end it at that. Street Fan falls to 2-5. Violators go to 6-0. Coming up into the next game. I'm excited. It's starting to get really, really good. Get your popcorn ready. Next game up, we're going to see a goodie. House Gang versus Raw. And I've never seen a team that was 0-6 play a team that's 5-1 and it'd be so much excitement and impact because now House Gang has their starting quarterback, Shaq. Sarge quit the team last week after the loss to YMM. But Shaq is the better quarterback. Shaq has the stronger arm. Shaq is a former UFL Offensive Player of the Year. So he can get it done. He has to get the rust off. We've seen him throw it toe against Generals and they ran back and, end up losing that game. But as time passes, this House Gang team can step it up and they're not mathematically eliminated. They can actually still make the playoffs. This is a statement they have to beat Raw.
And the thing about it is, the unfortunate thing is their record does not reflect the talent that they have on this team. They have a lot of young guys that have potential, and one of the main guys I talk about, which may be a difference maker in my opinion, is AJ. I feel like he can be a factor on this team. He can be a big difference maker if he learns the game and plays more. They also have Lil Dude. They have pieces that they can establish and make.
It all starts with JP though.
Pretty much. JP has been their go-to guy day in, day out from last year. JP is one of their main offensive guys. He plays hard. He gets open. Not necessarily the fastest player on their team, but he knows how to get open no matter who he's playing against. And if they can build on that and play harder, if Moses can show up and be the Moses that we're used to, if they can play the way that they have the potential to play, and they can actually come and make it to the playoffs.
And Raw is 5-1. Casey's been throwing great. He's up there for quarterback of the year. He's up there for comeback player of the year. Jimmy has led these troops. He's up there for coach of the year. This team missed the playoffs last year. Now they're already in. They're already locked to make the playoffs. But they didn't make it last year. And this is a great turnaround for a team that didn't make the playoffs last year to a team that's sitting in first place. That's definitely a reflection of their coach.
Yes, and that was the difference maker. He actually rallied them around. They actually are more disciplined now. They're playing hard. They're actually playing impressive football this year. They have an impressive quarterback in case who's having quarterback in the year type numbers. He's playing well. He's making the best decisions he can make on the field, and it reflects on their offense. They're doing just what they need to do.
And Joel's definitely a guy that you get him the ball in space and the moves he make. I'm telling you, he reminds me of the Philadelphia running back.
Pretty much.
Shady McCoy.
McCoy, yes.
Yeah, that dude is just like that. When he gets the ball in space, he can make you miss, and he's good.
And he's been doing that throughout the season. Definite all-star. If they show their offense this way, if they play the way that they've been playing, I feel like they can run through the season still on top. It's all up to them, though.
We're going to go to Dawn to see who's here, who's not here.
Moses will not be present for House Game, and Sarge, who quit last week at quarterback, will be replaced by Shaq. Everyone is present for Raw. Back to you, Jay.
Moses not here for House Gang. That's big. Macho's gone for the season for Raw, but they seem to have pieces that can step up. I don't know if House Gang got the same. We're going to have to see during the game. Shaq is going to throw a pass too short to JP, and then Shaq is going to throw a pass to AJ in front of the end zone. AJ is going to drop the ball, turn the ball over. Casey's going to throw to the receiver in the gap. He's going to get knocked away by Eric. Eric been playing like an all-star this year. He may make the all-star team playing very well. Casey's going to throw to Ruben in the middle for a decent game. Casey's going to come back with a nice block from Milt. Throws a nice pass in the middle to the receiver. Casey's going to throw a short pass to Ruben. It's going to be knocked away by Storm. Great play by this defense, knocking the ball down. Casey's going to throw the ball to Joel. Joel's going to get stuck short, get caught short of the end zone, turning the ball over, giving the ball back to Housegang. Housegan's going to turn the ball, giving the ball back over to Raw. Smoker's going to blitz Casey and get sacked, but there's a flag on Housegang for blitzing too. Can't make these mistakes, especially in the slow game, giving Casey an extra down on offense. Casey's going to throw to Dre in the end zone, but it's going to be dropped, and that's going to turn over the ball. Shaq is going to throw a pass in the middle. It's almost going to be intercepted by Eddie, and it's going to cause them to turn over the ball. You see no offense. All you see is back and forth. We're going to go into the half, zip. We're going to have an interview from Jay, from me, at halftime. It's going to be, that's the one with Rico.
Yes.
And
Rico and Fred.
Talking about my hat. My hat it was a fashion statement. It was cold. I went to grab a hat, and I grabbed what was there. It was my daughter, unfortunately. We're gonna get an interview, zip. Since we were boring first half, we're gonna try to excite it up and show me talking.
One time. Let's start this over. Let me know when you're ready, Pat.
I'm ready.
Yo, this is Fred. This is Real Tough Talk. Right now we're dealing with Jay. We're talking about this thing hat. Crazy. Yo, Jay, why the hat got that color?
Well, I decided to wear a hat that represents the
why
way
your hat look like that?
See, I'm telling you, I wanted to wear something that represents the way
people,
y'all.
this is crazy. You see what he's saying? Listen, you lucky I can't curse right now. You mean?
Now, question. What made you think you're gonna get away with a pink Santa Claus, dark skinned guy for the day? You can't. You just can't. Like, come on. One thing, it's like the form. like the hat's supposed to be like this. It's the form.
Listen, this is like the black. Where's
Come on.
Wild?
All right, let's keep it up. Who made that hat?
Huh?
If it was a child, we'll just stop the jokes.
It's my daughter's hat, but I don't mean I should have wore it.
Who made that hat?
Who made that?
Who made that?
Oh, somebody made it?
Because I know you didn't buy that.
Listen, we're going to talk right now. This is the guy that made the hat. Excuse me, pardon me. This guy right here. Okay, hey. That's the guy that made the hat, ladies and gentlemen. You already know. They're going to get you a hat, Pop. They're going to say UFL dumbest. And
Wow. I thought that hat was cool.
I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to be the one to tell you. I let them tell you because they're. I don't know. I feel too bad.
I thought the hat
actually,
was cool.
Nah, listen. That was my niece's hat, like you said. But I didn't want to tell you you look bad. You kind of needed it because it was kind of cold. So I didn't want to say anything bad. But they did the job for me. So
I thought the hat was nice.
Listen, get another hat. Like they said, get another hat. That's all I can say.
Casey's gonna throw the ball in the middle. It's gonna be tipped by Jail and intercepted by Chi. Chi with a great interception. Housegang playing well, gets the ball back for this Shaq's offense. Great play here by Chi making the pick. But my problem is Casey struggled because he's doing stuff that's not his game. He did not chop up the field like we've seen him do. He did not with nice little runs. He was going downfield. He was stretching it. It's not his game. Casey is a more 10 to 15 yard
And I'm
type
gonna give you my
quarterback,
opinion on
not
that.
past 15 yards.
But I'm gonna give you my opinion on that. He sees Housegang, he sees that they're a team that has no wins, and he figured, you know what? Let me take my chances on them because they can't beat anybody. Maybe I can use my time now to try to do something that I don't normally do. Obviously, it didn't work. I don't know why he kept going in that direction because all they do is play the game. He did it, and they didn't put no points up yet.
Shaq is going to throw a nice pass to JP on the sideline. Then Shaq is going to go deep to JP, and it's going to be intercepted by Vito. That's a bad play by Shaq. You just do a nice pass to JP on the sideline. You go deep to JP. JP is not a downfield guy. He chops the field up, get him in the red zone, then you can hit him up top, over the top. But he's not a guy that can stretch the field. He forces it here, intercepted, bad throw by Shaq, giving the ball back to Raw. Raw's gonna end up not capitalizing, punting, giving the ball back to back to House Gang. Remember, it's a zip tie. Shaq is gonna get sacked by Al, and House Gang is gonna have to punt. Raw's gonna get the ball. Joel's gonna run for a short gain. Casey's gonna throw it to the middle, but it's gonna be knocked away. Raw's gonna end up getting stopped short of the end zone, giving it back to House Gang. Shaq is gonna throw it. The next pass is gonna be intercepted. White Boy's gonna get the interception. Couldn't really see his name. White Boy with the interception, giving it back to Raw. Bad throw by Shaq. You see Shaq threw 2 bad passes that was picked off. He's better than this. Terrible throw by Shaq.
And what we're always seeing right now is 2 offenses that just can't get it done. So you can't always put it on the defense and say they're playing well. These offenses cannot get it done. They're not doing anything right. You see Shaq throwing another interception, something that he shouldn't do at this time. And something needs to get going because it doesn't look good out there on either offense.
Case is going to throw a nice pass to Beto in the middle. And then Case is going to follow up with a pass to Beto in the end zone, but it's going to be broken up by Chi. Turnover, giving the ball back to this Raw House Gang offense. Shaq is going to throw a nice pass to JP in the gap. And then Shaq is going to throw a Hail Mary. It's going to be incomplete, taking us into overtime. House Gang is 0-6. Raw is 5-1, and they take them into overtime. This is a plus to this House Gang defense and the whole team.
Very much so, because they were not expected to play as well as they not to say play as well, but hang in there as long as they did without having the opposition score any points. This is pretty much their best looking game in the season, in my opinion, besides the game where they just lost the Gunners. I feel like now they're starting to play together as a team. At least their defense-wise is looking good. Their offense is what's killing them right now, which has been a problem for the last 2 seasons. Their offense can't get the job done. There's another game that shows that the offense needs to step up because they're not getting anything done. They'll be the difference maker in this game.
And Raw playing terrible. Casey looks terrible. I've never seen him throw this bad before. His thing is, I don't think he's never really found a team that had faith in him. This team has faith in him. Ever since he lost Mach, it's not going to be the same. Mach is his bailout guy. Mach is his best receiver, and he's not here. So the only one you really feel comfortable with is Joel. But Joel's not a downfield guy. He's a guy that needs the ball in space, chop the field. And instead of Casey continuously coming to him, he tried to do a little too much. And I think the pressure is when anytime Eddie's there. Eddie is another quarterback, and we heard Eddie throughout the day when Casey made mistakes and was not able to score. We heard Eddie say, "We should have done it." Eddie said, "I would have done this." Yeah, Eddie said, and I think that can actually destroy a team because now you're gonna have guys on the side saying, "Well, maybe Eddie can do this." Listen, Casey's up there for quarterback of the year and up there for comeback player of the year. He got this team 5-1. Give him some credit. Then we heard other guys say, "Well, it was our defense that got us 5-1." Sometimes success is the worst enemy, and that's what happened.
And hopefully they don't wait until now to fall apart because they've been playing well together as a team, not pointing a finger to say who did what, who did better at what, and who was responsible for why we're playing so well. You're supposed to give the credit to the whole team because everybody did their job throughout the season. Now it's starting to look like it's falling apart. Hopefully they can buckle together because this game right now is not over.
Well, let's see what happens. It's in overtime now. Listen carefully. KC gets benched in overtime for Eddie. That's a gutsy call. That could ruin your season. If you lose this game, you could lose Casey for the season. But, you know, Jimmy's a coach and he's doing what a coach do. Eddie's going to throw a pass to Beto at the 5-yard line deep and it's going to be dropped by Beto. Then Eddie's next pass is going to be blocked by Little Dewey, bringing us to the 3rd down. The 3rd down, Eddie's going to throw a nice pass to a wide open Beto in the middle. It must have been some miscommunication. House Gang left him wide open. And on 4th down, Eddie's going to throw a pass to Ruben in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Ruben's going to also get the extra point. 7-0. There was controversy on the call saying the ball didn't break the plane. What do you think? It's hard because you would have to be able to see the play from the side, not the front. From the front view, what did you see?
Well, from the angle that I had, as the ball is in the air, I'm looking at the line and I'm seeing where Ruben's position. It looked like it was close. It looked like if his feet were behind the line, if his feet were behind the line, then that means that the ball did cross the plane because the ball was at the level where his feet was. So if that was the case, then that means that it was a good call. They called it a touchdown, and I agree with them. If his feet was behind the line, then that would mean that the ball did cross the plane and it would be a touchdown.
Well, he's gonna give him a touchdown, 7-0. Shaq, remember we're in overtime, both teams get a shot to try to score. Shaq is gonna throw 2 short passes, then he's gonna run for a few yards. He's gonna end up being on 4th down, he's gonna throw it up in the end zone, he's gonna be intercepted by Eddie, giving Raw the win. In overtime, 7-0, they beat House Gang. Raw ends up going 6-1 and first place as House Gang falls to 0-7.
And what can I say besides, regardless of no offense, that was a great game.
Yes, I take my hats off the House Gang. They look like a team. They look like this team should have been together from the beginning. They finally got everybody to come. They had guys there the first week, second week, not the third week, the fourth week. They had their whole team out there, and they look dangerous. They look scary. And once Shaq breaks off the rust, these passes that he threw picks on, they'll be touchdowns. And I think this team is dangerous. People don't hope this team will get in the playoffs because I wouldn't want to play them.
And at the end of the day, their team was nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So if they make the playoffs, all they're looking for is just to do their job. Because now they're not afraid of anybody. Because it doesn't matter who they play, they're not looking to make anything happen. So now it's up to the team to beat them. Now it's the other team has to step up and do their job and beat them. Because they have nothing to lose at this point. That's not a team anybody wants to face.
And we're going to talk to House Gang. We're going to get an interview with them after the game, talking about the game. We're going to see what happens.
Go ahead.
I'm here with Captain Swagger, Coach Mike, House Gang, Swag. We saw a different team today. We saw your whole team. You guys come week 1, then not show up week 3. You know, right now you have no wins this year, but this year we've seen the team, this game, that took the first place team to overtime. What does that say about the House Gang team?
It says a lot about the House Gang team. At the end of the day, I've been saying this for forever. We're not using no excuses, but we've never had our full team out here. Today you saw, and that's still not our full team. Truth be told, but we're going to stay here, be loyal. We're not going to drop out of here because that's what everybody's been doing. We're not going to do it. And you see, they're happy, they're celebrating, but at the end of the day, truthfully speaking, I'm a veteran. I've been playing for over 25 years. If you win against a team that got no wins, there's really nothing to celebrate. You know what I mean? And especially if you win overtime, and you know since the days of Smitty, I'm going to go ahead and give it up to him. You don't celebrate when you beat a team with no win. You happy about that? I guarantee they get bumped the first round. Put that on Tuff Talk.
Mike, right now you're 0-7. But you and the captain guarantee that House Gang is not dropping out. You're going to be here, follow the season. What's the motivation to stay in?
We never give up. We never give up. From the beginning, this team was like, we should disband this team, we should break up this team. No. I believed in us 100% from the beginning. We're not quitters. House Gang is not here to quit. We're going to play 100% every week, in and out.
There are some people that live.
You are still mathematically alive to go to the playoffs. So the season's not over. What does Shaq bring that Sarge didn't have?
Shaq brings a lot that Sarge didn't have. I'm not taking nothing away from Sarge, but Sarge is a very smart quarterback. But athleticism, he can probably polish up his skills a little bit. You got to know what you're doing when you get certain quarterbacks. The difference in this is Shaq's played with us #1. So he knows what each and every individual can do, and he has a stronger arm. So he can put something on a wire instead of hoping that somebody's going to go get it. And the way, as you already elaborated on, we may not be the fastest, but we don't drop it. So we got hands. And you know what? We're going to get younger. We're going to get some speed. Like I said, we're rebuilding right now. You know the House Gang that you've been seeing in this league. This is not necessarily it. But you know what? We're not going nowhere. We're going to be all right. This is a rebuilding year for us. Great teams have that problem. You got other teams that's out here and they change no personnel and struggling.
I agree.
So we just showed you what we can do when we get people together, because football to me is 80% mental, 20% physical.
You had the best defense last year. Coming this year, different players. You lost a lot of top guys. What would you say about your defense that you proved to y'all today? Because today we saw House Gang defense. What would that say today about the team?
Today that says this. That says what goes back to what I just said. If you got the aptitude to learn and listen and do what you need to do, you can put anybody on the field. That goes to say a testament to the coach. That's a testament to the captain at the end of the day. So that's what.
Last question. What made you?
That's Shaq. He's stupid. Everybody knows that.
What made you decide to go? Because I'm figuring Shaq is your quarterback for the rest of the season.
For the rest of the season.
We seen him. He looked rusty, but then we seen him make some throws that we used to seeing him make. What do you think? How do you think this game helped Shaq progress for the last 2 games of the season?
Well, to be totally honest with you, Shaq wasn't here. A lot of y'all don't know Shaq moved. He doesn't even live in the state of New York. He came back up here for work. So he's actually doing us a favor because at the end of the day, it's loyalty over loyalty. So we called him up. He came out here to do what he's doing for us. And he got other people asking him to play. At the end of the day, for him to come out here and look the way he looked today without ever coming out here playing at all, imagine if he'd have came out here and been playing with us. They would really have to fear this team. You wouldn't have no wins. But I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. I played long enough to know. I played on teams 2 and 15. I played on teams 15 and 8. I've been to both sides of the mountain, bottom and top. So right now you got to go through this. And it's fine. I'm cool with it. But at the end of the day, we demand respect. Demand it. I'm not asking nobody in this league for respect. I'm taking it.
Last question. How's game making the playoffs?
We don't know. We don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and act like we definitely guarantee. No, because I'm not gonna do that because I know how you do, Mr. Smith, with your tough talk crony. I'm not gonna say that, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you can't count us out. You can't just sit here and say that we don't get in there. And if we do, all we need is a shot.
That's it. One
At
shot.
the end of the day, you see they still arguing with us, and they
So what we
number
play
one.
today-
If you argue with somebody, because I know, if you argue with somebody, you respect them indirectly. You too stupid to even realize you respect us. Because if you was 0-0, I wouldn't even say nothing to you. I walk out here with my back turned.
They took us lightly.
That's how you
today.
really shut
That's what
somebody
happened.
up.
They took us lightly today. They took us very lightly. We came out here with a team that we have from the beginning. You know, they scored 7 points. A first place team. A first place team.
Yo, good catch. I'm gonna keep it a G with you, bro.
And we gave them a game. A good game. They only won 7-0. We're here, man. We ain't going nowhere.
We want to thank Coach Mike for being here with us. Captain Swagger. Tough loss today.
As you see, Swag and Mike, they don't seem worried. They don't agree with the call. They didn't think it was a touchdown. But they're not supposed to think it's a touchdown. The call went against them. But they look like they're here to stay. They don't worry about their record. They figure that they can win out. They figure that they can get in the playoffs. They're battling Reckless for that last spot in the playoffs. They also battling Gunners for the last play in the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting. Definitely they seem confident. They seem like they're prepared to get this ball moving, even though it's a little late in the season. But they're going to give it a shot.
Yeah, I feel like it's been... I feel like it's a little too late because now the pressure's on them to win the next 3 games. You can't afford to lose any games at this point because every game matters now. The Gunners already beat them this season, so now they have to surpass them in terms of record-wise. They also have to play Reckless and hope that Reckless loses. So it's a lot of pressure on them to make the playoffs. They have to do everything right just to even have a chance.
And before we talk about Raw, we're going to get the interview with Jimmy, and then we'll come back to after that.
Go. What's going on, guys? Stephen J here with Jimmy. They just had a big win against House Gang. They're in first place. They're 6-1. Why is nobody talking about Raw? You're in first place. You're beating the teams in front of you. Why is nobody talking about you?
Underdogs, baby.
Underdogs. Cinderella team, baby.
You ready to know?
The Cinderella team, huh? Just got a whole bunch of guys that want to play ball.
What's the difference between the Raw team this year and last season?
Guys are more motivated. And I got a couple more guys that are looking to win.
Now, on the last, in the overtime, you're about to drive down the field. You pull out KC, who is candidate for quarterback of the year, candidate for comeback player of the year, to go with Eddie. What made you go with that decision?
It was hard to make the decision, but the game was zip, and we was going on, so I just felt that he just probably gave us a better chance in that position to score. Even though we did drop 2 touchdowns in the game, which should have been 12-zip, 14-zip, however you want to look at it, but it was not all his fault. But I just felt that Ed was, at that moment, Ed would give us, it was a better place for Ed, you know, in a better position.
During the game, right now we want to know, during the game we had Eddie saying If I was throwing this, what happened? If I was throwing that, what happened? Then we see him you put him in the game. You telling me now we got a controversy with Eddie throwing at KC? Or you gonna go for him in the future? So KC will start
next week. It's just
but if you get into a situation like that, is it possible that crunch time you would pull out KC and put in Eddie and go with the 2 quarterback system?
if I'm going to throw, I might do it.
So, how has the injury with Macho changed your team going forward?
Injury with Macho is big. Huge. Yeah, it's huge. For the simple fact that that's one of his go-to receivers. So it makes it a little harder for Case to
Motivate.
Yeah. Macho, like, having Macho on the field motivates KC. It's more motivates on both sides of the field when I got him on.
Last question. Guys, last question. We talk about Jingo coaching. We talk about Jingo coaching for Browns. We talk about Pam's coaching for Carver. Nobody's talking about Jimmy. You're up there for Coach of the Year. How do you feel about nobody talking about you as coach? They talk about Pam's, Jingo. You don't get the credit that you deserve with a 6-1 team. How do you feel about that?
Not worried about it. Honestly, Coach of the Year is a big honor, but it's more beyond that. I'm not looking beyond that. I'm really gonna take it on. And you look at me, that's what I want, take it on. I'll be happy with that.
I want to thank Jimmy for being here, interviewing with us. They're 6-1. They won today 7-0. They're in first place in the East. We're going to see you on the website. Cinderella, baby. Cinderella.
I mean, what can you say? Jimmy's being honest. He says Casey's the starter, but Eddie just won you this game. How can you say hey, Casey's the starter? Because all Casey's thinking is, well, when I'm struggling, they're going to pull me out. So now every pass has to be perfect. Every play has to be precise. You're not able to make mistakes, which is when you start making mistakes.
But then at the end of the day, you got to look at it like this. A quarterback knows when he's hurting the team more than helping the team. And sometimes a quarterback knows that, you know what? We can't move forward the way I'm playing. So something got to... Listen.
The guy's a quarterback of the year nominee. The guy is a comeback player of the year nominee. How can you sit down and not have faith in this guy? The only reason I can't kill Jimmy is because his team is 6-1 and he's a coach of the year candidate, which means he gotta know what he's doing. And his call won them the game.
And you know what? Like I said, it's like you can't necessarily feel that Casey should be upset or whatever. If you're a team, you're not worried about quarterback of the year. You're not worried about any of that.
But a quarterback wants to play.
Yes, sir. A quarterback wants to play, but a quarterback also wants to win as well. So at the end of the day, would you rather play and lose knowing that you couldn't get anything done? This one time, you would rather not play and win or play and lose, and now everything is on you.
Mr.
You were the
Ghost.
cause of this game.
Mr. Ghost.
Okay.
What is my motto?
2 quarterbacks, none. Yes,
Exactly.
I heard of it.
If you have 2 quarterbacks, then you really have none. What is going to happen now when Casey throw an interception? What is going to happen now when Casey go 4-0?
But then again, how many times?
Coach?
But listen, how many times did they go to overtime this season? So how do we know?
House King is on 6.
All right, but my point
House
is.
King is on 6.
But think about this. Sometimes a quarterback has to think about this. On an 0-6 team, you couldn't put no points on the board. You couldn't put no points on the board. So what would have changed in overtime? What would have made a difference? You would have ride and y'all would have died with that same play.
Casey's a short field quarterback. He chops the field up. One thing about House Gang did well this game is they played him short. They dared him to throw deep. He wasn't able to make the throws deep. They dared him to go over the top, and he wasn't able to do it. Eddie can. You saw that pass he made to Pete, though. Who would you start in?
Listen.
Playoff time, $4,200 was on the line when you get in the playoffs. Will Eddie be the starter? We seen generals bench Pete, though. So there's no loyalty in these teams. They want to win.
Yes.
A coach want to win, so Casey needs to worry about his job now and make sure, is he the quarterback of
But
this team?
listen, at the end of the day, this should be a lesson learned. When you deviate from your style, this is what happens. You have no success and you get benched eventually. So when he sticks to his style, maybe then won't have to worry about losing his starting spot. So I look at Casey and blame him for this. He can't get mad at Jimmy, he can't get mad at Eddie. He got to look at his play this game and say, you know what? That play, that going downfield, got me no points against the worst team in this league. That's all on me. If I was Casey, that's how I would feel. And I would improve in the next game and play my style, play my game.
But House Gang didn't play like the worst team in the league. They played like they were playing with the house money. They played well. So was it Casey playing bad?
It didn't matter. Listen, at the end of the day, it didn't matter what team he played against. He changed his style. And that was the difference maker. He wasn't able to put any points on the board. Whenever he played his style, he was able to at least put 6 points on the board to get them that win. He didn't do that today, in this game, which shows that that's not something that's going to work.
Which shows if I struggle, I'm going to get pulled.
No, which shows that if you keep playing like that, a coach has to make a decision.
But when you have Eddie on the sideline or in the field saying, I would have done this, I would have done that.
Play your game. Listen.
What happens?
That's
your teammate.
No.
And he's also the backup quarterback.
Listen, you play your game and you have nothing to worry about.
I don't know. It's hard to play a game when you know there's somebody behind you hunting for your job. That's what's hard. Eddie's here.
Hunting for your job wants to throw. When you're 5-1, when you got them to the record that they got.
Well, I guess they didn't remember that when they went into overtime.
Well, we can only see in the future.
I guess they didn't remember he got them to 5-1 when they went into overtime.
Listen, you love to cause more controversy.
I'm gonna call a spade a spade. It
but
is
we
what
didn't
it is.
see. Listen,
we seen him.
This
we seen crunch time.
Listen.
We seen him struggle. We seen him get benched. We didn't see them say, "Listen, it's a 50-yard field now. It's half the field in overtime. This is what Casey does." They benched him.
So you feel that that's what's gonna happen towards the end of the season. That's what you feel. And I can't necessarily jump to conclusions and feel
I don't say no thing, Poppy. I just tell you.
Listen, I can't say that.
Tell you.
I can't say that. Well, you know what? Listen.
Overtime.
Let's say this.
Bench the guy, man.
Listen. You want to put a bet on it?
A bet on what?
That
you did that with me last year, and we seen Ralph get cut from YMM. Listen, at the end of the day, he says that this is his starter. We heard that.
And
it sounds good. It sounds good. Nah. Let's see the next time we see
this situation.
Think
is
about
not
it.
the same.
You got an
as
opportunity to win a championship. You're gonna let Casey throw that away for you? No. You got Eddie in the background.
Throw that away. Won one game.
I'm just saying.
I'm just
saying, Casey. Look over your shoulder, man.
That's cruel.
Because Eddie's there, and trust me, Eddie's not there just to be a player because he can play defense. He can do stuff. He's there to throw. Trust me. The reason this teammate cut this guy, even when they were going through their problems with him, Eddie is Raw's insurance policy. And what they did was, they cashed out today. And they won. That was the worst thing that happened for this team. Because some guys going to want Eddie. Some guys going to want Casey. Some guys going to want downfield. Some guys going to want short. And now, this is what happens. So we'll see. Their next game.
It's unfair to predict that that's what's going to happen.
See. So hopefully we can get an interview with Casey next game and see how he felt about being benched. That being said, we're going to wrap up the show. Great show today. Let's give a shout out to Martin Luther King for his birthday. We appreciate everything he's done for us and how he's helped us become the people we are now. That's one. Shout out to Primetime. BQFL Primetime team. They're going to be getting in the league next year. We'll see them. Guy is a big fan of the show. Definitely want to give him a shout out. And guys, All-Star selections will be next week. You'll see who made the All-Star team. I'm coming back from redemption. I'm going to win this year, hopefully. I'm 0-2, but this year I got a team. Trust me. I really got the team. You got the troops. We're ready to go.
But I think the West got some guys.
We got a guy, and once again, Rico's my captain of my team. That's one of my favorite players. As long as I'm running this team, he's going to be the captain. I just expect more from him. Him and Cecil, I expect him to step my team up and win it for the East. Tim is right now going over his guys in the West. Now we're gonna see what happens, but we're gonna win it this year. I feel good about it this year.
Y'all offense got to step up because
We got a great defense right now. The defense I got is great. The offense I got, I mean, you want little bones, big bones at the ends. You got JP and Ace in the slots, Joel in the backfield. You want more? I'm not gonna give you everything.
Who's gonna be a quarterback?
That's just a little who you want. Who you want? I got right now. It looks like before the season's over, we got Slasher. We got Casey.
The main two.
The third one is possibly Reggie. Reggie.
The main two I see is Casey, the quarterback that you talk about to lose his starting job. And I'm
not saying I would bench him. He's going to play on my team.
Listen, I'm just saying.
He should sit down and just wait for the All-Star team. They want Eddie? Let Eddie throw.
But maybe then you would have to bench him then.
Let Eddie throw. Sit down, Casey. Say, Jimmy, you wanted to be...
Listen, Casey, don't trust this guy. Because he'd probably bench you too if it meant him winning. You see his language right here? You don't think that he would bench you too? Come on. Let's be honest. He got to be honest on that one.
Bench you too. So he's agreeing with the benching. I don't.
No, I'm saying the way you're talking about it is this is what you're
going to get benched in the All-Star team. I got other quarterbacks that got to play.
Yeah, but you'll be quick to bench him.
We'll
see. Because the point is you're going to lose anyway.
We're going to win. Yeah. We're going to win.
0-3 this year.
We're going to wrap the show up with that being said. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We enjoyed doing it. We're going to see you next week. Big show next week. Big games coming up. We'll see you bright and early whenever we do it. Week 8. We're going to wrap up week 7. Thanks for being here, guys. I'm Stephen J.
And I'm Ghost.
We want to thank y'all for being here with us for another episode of Real Tough Talk. See y'all next week.